Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
Good evening and welcome to the very final deal reveal of 2023. I am sick as a dog right now, and I absolutely still wanted to be here. Still wanted to be here for you because we have on today another gatekeeper, and I've been trying to get her on this deal reveal for quite a few weeks now. In fact, a couple of months. She doesn't even know this, but I was very, very happy to be able to plan this one today. And even though I canceled my later call, I absolutely wanted to be here to present to you another amazing opportunity to meet Terre Holmes, another Cleveland gatekeeper here to present a real opportunity. As you know, every Thursday for the last 3 years, right, we have been featuring deals, and we've been giving away deals to you. We've been giving away opportunities and connections, and today is no different. We're going to take a few minutes and we're going to look at the deal that Terre has in her grasp right now, and we're going to see if that cash flow is there. We're going to see if the equity is there to discount at purchase. Basically, want to see, is this the right time and the right place to buy this type of property in the US? And so, Terre, I think I was able to add you with some extra permissions. Let me know if you can unmute yourself, and feel free to open up your camera if you're not too shy to do so. Yeah, you should have all the permissions you need. So let me make sure you do. Hey, how are we doing?
Hey, how are you?
Very, very well. Minus being sick as a dog, it's always a great day, and I'm excited to have you here so we can have a little
Awesome.
chat about some of the
Absolutely.
opportunities in Cleveland right now.
Absolutely. So let me apologize ahead of time for not for us not being able to make this happen sooner.
Better late than
we've been
never, right?
we've been
And
trying to make it happen for a while. And so
absolutely. We're here now,
go
and
ahead.
I'll give a little bit of context too. We have been in communication for quite some time. I knew Terry Holmes was in the biz, doing her things. She does a lot of things, real estate and financial literacy related as well. So I knew that. But what was it, about a month and a half ago now? We met in person for the first time at the Greater Cleveland Buy Back the Block event, and Terre was actually hosting a panel, well, a workshop ultimately, right? And
I did both. I was
exactly,
hosting a panel and a workshop. Yep. And so I hosted a workshop and then I moderated a panel for that event. And so I think we actually bumped into each other when I was actually moderating the panel.
that's
So
right.
that was great. Yep,
Ex-
absolutely.
exactly. So
So
you got a workshop, you got a panel, and now you've got the deal reveal. So the hat trick is complete for 2023.
absolutely. So question for you. You may be a little annoyed with me. I'm actually in my car. It's been a long day handling some real estate stuff, but I'm gonna go ahead and reveal myself on the reveal.
Beautiful.
And so I want to share this deal. I can pull up my computer if you want me to, and or I could just share it verbally, go through the numbers and everything. You tell
You
me
know,
what's going to be
yeah.
best.
Verbally is fine, and if you want me, I can go on Zillow or Realtor or anywhere you want me to go. I also
Perfect.
have the link with some of the pictures that you sent. All that is ready to go. You tell me where you want to go. So
Perfect. So let me just talk through it. You go ahead. You got the deal. You can pull it up, and I can talk through it. So we can go straight through that. Yeah.
got it. So this is a property on East 84th in Cleveland.
Yep. Yep.
Asking starting bid at $45,000, and it's your first time on our deal reveal. What we like to do is we like to look at a deal lightning fast. Within 5 minutes, we want to size up this opportunity to see if it's even worth pursuing
Absolutely.
any further, putting in an offer, and doing our due diligence. And we like to
Okay.
check the two golden rules of real estate. One is, are we buying at a discount? Right? Is it worth 45 and we're paying 45? That's arguably not so much of a good deal, right? And we want it to be
Yep.
worth 70 if we're paying 45, and maybe we put 10 in renovation. We want to buy at a discount. And second is
Gotcha.
after that, we're going to tenant it. We're going to get some income coming in, and we want cash flow at the end of the day. So we like to use like the 50% rule. I'm sure you're aware of that little quick trick. Just to size
Absolutely.
up, like where does this fall? And so if you want to kind of tell us about the
Yeah.
property and try to include those
Okay.
two elements, we'll be golden.
Perfect. So I typically do mine I do them at 70% with everything in the deal. So the renovation plus the rehab. This is a multifamily. It is zoned multifamily. It was converted to a single family some years ago, and it still has the structure to be turned back into a multi. Now, when I say that it was converted to single, they basically just took some walls out, but it still has 2 kitchens and 2 bathrooms on both floors. So you
Yeah.
already have your bathroom and your kitchen on each floor. They just opened up the walls and just used it as one house, right?
Okay.
So with this house, you need to put the walls back in to take it back to a actual multi-family, and just do some remodeling, because the family that was there for many, many, many years, and so it wasn't upgraded. So it needs a rehab, and I'm estimating, depending on if you do your own work or if you hire your work out, I'm going to say that rehab is going to be anywhere from 40 to 50K. We're looking at 45. The current tenant who's living in there, and it's not even in good shape, and the current tenant is living in there at 750 on one unit. So once it's in really good shape, I'm looking at about 875 to 900 for each unit. And so that's going to bring you. So I don't really look at necessarily the numbers that I look at, are the 1% rule. So I'm not really looking at 70% or anything like that. I'm looking at the 1% rule. So 1%, if we go in at 45 and we put in, let's say 50, and we're way above the 1% rule, because we would be at about 16, 17, almost $1,800 a month.
Yeah.
So that's really what it is. It needs a new roof. It needs a roof on the garage. The garage is all brick, so it just needs a new roof on that, and it really just needs a lot of cosmetic work. Nothing has been done to it in years. So that's really the deal. I think it's a great opportunity for anyone who wants to do multi and wants to get some good cash flow going.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for that. So let me just run that through. So converting it to a duplex is one avenue. I've got another idea for this property that may reduce the renovation cost, but let's just leave it at the convert it to a duplex, get 900 per side, 1,800 per month. That's just over 20,000 gross income per year. And if we use the 50% rule on this, that would mean about 11,000 a year in net operating income. And so if we buy it for 45 and we put in say 45, we're in it for 90, just a quick cap rate. We're at a double digit. We're at a 12% cap rate right here. And so, well, I mean, be that, you can decide if that's excellent, amazing, or not good enough. That's on our listeners to decide. But a double digit cap typically is not something to frown upon. It's a pretty strong return.
I will concur. So what's your thoughts on it? Because the person who I spoke with also talked about renting by the room or doing some type of group home or something,
Yep.
and because it has a lot of room and it's really big. It's a really spacious
That's
house.
exactly what I was thinking for this. If the room sizes are decent size, 10 by 12 or larger, and how many bedrooms total? 4 or more than that on this property?
So it
It is a
is
4.
let's see, 1, 2, it's between 4 and 5 bedrooms on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, between 4 and 5 bedrooms on this. Right now, they're utilizing on the first floor. The first floor is a little funky. They're utilizing a space that's more like a dining room as a bedroom. So really, they could go into that space, put the closet in there, and actually make it, because it has windows and everything. They can actually make that a bedroom. So we'll be looking at about 5 bedrooms in that house.
Beautiful. Yeah, if we can get it to 5 bedrooms, and if they are decent size, if we
Yep.
can get 7 or 8 by the room or group home residents, this could be a cash cow, and you wouldn't even need to convert it to a double to make it happen
No.
because you just don't need it. And it has two kitchens, two bathrooms. That's just awesome for group home context. Anyways, you don't need the dividing walls necessarily. So I think there's some
Yep.
opportunity there.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. You don't have to convert it to a back to a multi in order to really cash flow really well. And you would cash flow even better, right?
Oh yeah,
If you just rented
for
out
sure.
the room. Yeah,
If
for
if
sure.
you have a good operator, good management, yes, absolutely.
Yep.
And I want to go
Yep.
back to the 1% rule real quick because you mentioned it just for people who may not be familiar with it. So the 1% rule basically says that you want your monthly rent to be higher than 1% of the purchase price. Well, the all-in price of this investment. So once again, if we
Mhm.
go back down and we say that there's 900 per side times two sides, that's 1800. We want this investment to be less than 100 times that amount. So less than 180,000, which we're clearly below, right? In fact, we're
Absolutely.
half of that, meaning we're in the 2% rule range. And above
Yep.
two, yeah, above two, we're really starting to be in the exceptional cash flow range. The highest I've
Yep.
ever seen was like 3.2. That's like
Right.
phenomenal. But two is amazing from the
Yeah.
1% rule perspective. So that's what we're looking at here. So that's cash flow. I think we've diced it in 2, 3 different ways here for cash flow. It looks pretty strong, and even
Mhm.
higher if it's group homes. What about buying at a discount? What is this property worth after we put in that 45,000? Let's see if it passes the second check.
So so I've been running some numbers in the area. The thing is that there are not a lot of comps on the multi side. There are comps on the single family side. Did you
Mhm.
find that?
I,
Yeah.
I, I, when I go into these deal reveals, I go in blind.
Yeah.
So if we want to go
All
check
right.
some
So,
comps right
yep.
now, we can.
Yep.
But I didn't look at this.
Yeah. So on the single family side, the comps are at about 140, 150. So,
Oh wow,
the
that much?
numbers are pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
So on the single family side and a 1 mile radius, under a 1 mile radius, maybe point 0.7, point 0.8 miles, it's at about 140. About
Wow.
140 is
Yeah,
the ARV. Well, a comp.
prices.
Now huh?
I was gonna say prices
So
have
I
jumped
personally,
up in the last, since COVID. They've just
yep,
jumped up. It
yep,
surprises me, even though I'm looking at properties every day. I'm like, really? In this area?
yep,
But they
yeah,
have.
yeah. So I typically, as a finder, I find properties, and so not even I'm going to say as an investment consultant, I typically don't even like to talk about ARV. I like for my clients to run their own numbers. I've gotten into too much trouble on my end talking about ARV, so I don't even talk about ARV. I allow people to do their own due diligence, run their own numbers. I know what the numbers are, and I know that. But I also know this, Kyle, is that you cannot, every single deal uses a different formula to determine if it's a good deal, right? So you can't always go with, oh, well, I'm buying this because of ARV. Sometimes it's about what's my cash flow and does it hit the 1% rule? And is that 2%? Like you said, Cleveland used to be at 2%. You used to be able to get deals at 2%, let's say 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
That was very common,
Yep.
and it's not as common, but it is still common that you're over 1%, 1.5, because of our duplexes and the price point. So, based on those numbers alone, this makes it a really, really solid deal.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Terry. Typically, we don't like to go more than 10, 15 minutes. This was beautiful. If you want to add more to it, by all means, do it. And I will say that if anybody is interested in this particular property, just reach out to us. We'll get in contact. We'll get you in contact with Terry, and we will have our group home operator go check out this particular location, this property. Measure out the size of the bedrooms, do the due diligence we need, because that I think can blow. To turn it from a great deal to a legendary deal. These group homes
Absolutely.
can pay up to 1,600 per resident. Of course, that's gross. There's expenses and staff and food
Mhm.
to pay
Mhm.
through all this.
Yep.
But on a property like this, you can probably gross 3,000 or pretty close to, um, paying for an operator in a group home model. And so
Yeah.
forget 1,800, plug in 3,000 in there and see how now we're close to the 4% rule. If the property and the layout and everything, that's what we're potentially looking at. So if anybody is interested in this, reach out, we'll make the connection and add to your portfolio or get a first amazing cash flowing property in Cleveland.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. My family is actually in the group home business.
Oh,
So
I didn't even know that.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. My mom owns 2 group homes. My grandparents were in the business. My aunt and uncles were in the business. Actually, my aunt and uncle, another said they're still in the business. They own about 4 group homes. So,
Wow.
so yeah, I know that space quite well. So I definitely think that it would be a great opportunity.
I would love to run some numbers with you, maybe on a separate call, maybe on a deep dive call someday, with some of our
Yeah.
community members. And yeah, I'd love to see what you can, what you can do, and what we can
Yeah.
do for you as well, because we've been
Absolutely.
heavily exploring the group homes route for 2024. That's a big goal of ours. And so if you can be
Okay.
part of that, the community's hungry, and
Yeah.
we're looking for cash flow.
Perfect. Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Um, have me back on. I got another deal. I always
Sounds good. Absolutely. You tell us when you got deals and we'll get you on. It's starting to be a
all right.
competition between you finders to be on the calls, and that's wonderful. That's what we like. So that's the deal.
Absolutely.
1352 East 84th in Cleveland for $45,000, presented by Terre Holmes. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
And
you.
we'll see you all soon. Happy New Year's.
All right. Happy New Year to you. Thanks.
Right on. So just wrapping up here, is this a deal or no deal? If you want to submit your feedback in the chat or give us the thumbs up, if you're listening on Facebook or you're catching the recording, this deal is here for you. First come, first serve, right, Terry? That's how we operate. So
Absolutely.
that's our giveaway for New Year's, and we hope that you are seriously considering our All You Can Learn pass for 2024. So I hope you've registered. Actually, we've extended until Christmas, until the New Year's. If you want to become, this is the final chance to become an ambassador for our All You Can Learn pass. Just send us an email. Over 30 programs recorded, remastered for you to learn about short-term rentals, to learn about mobile home parks, multifamily, luxury vacation homes, of course, Cleveland, financing, BRRRRs, due diligence. It goes on and on and on. We got everything. The All You Can Learn Pass is everything we've done in the last 5 years. And we're excited for you to take all that knowledge and put it into practice to get the cash flow and the lifestyle you deserve. So that's that. Have a great one. And congratulations for doing Now for Tomorrow.